Hey everybody, Jim here, and I'm going to go over some week 3 things for you, module 3. Um, Looking in Canvas, you will have the directions to Classroom again. I've got right now, I think I have, that just went away. I have 14 people signed up in Classroom. Let me get to your Classroom account. That was my school account. So that obviously is not everyone in our 303 class here. If I go up to people, it says I have 14 students. So if I scroll down here a little bit, hopefully you see your email address that you used. If you don't see your email address that you used, you need to get yourself into here as soon as you can. Again, this link in Canvas will take you to the classroom so you can get enrolled. It'd be best if you had a Gmail account so that you can participate in the things that we're doing and get more of a feel, at least for right now, from the student side of it, of what the student side of Google Classroom looks like. So anyway, we are going to be on thing 6. So if we go to our 21 things, notice it is giving you some updates here that it says in early 2021, which is right now. They're going to continue to be doing some updating of links and things like that. So as I'd mentioned before, if I assign something here on a Sunday, um, who knows, by Wednesday, there could be some slight differences. Don't freak out. Contact me. Let me know if something's changed. Whatever we need to do, we'll try to roll with the flow. That is one of the biggest lessons we can learn with technology is we have to be very, very flexible at all times, or it will snap you in half. So anyway, we are going to be in thing 6, which is talking about synchronous and asynchronous education. Very timely topic now with so much COVID going around and so many schools being virtual, whether they are being asynchronous or synchronous. Um, Sometimes those words get thrown around in the wrong way, but you know, for the most part, in my district right now, we are face to face. But when we have our virtual Fridays, they are synchronous. So the students log on at a certain time and have a Google Meet. So we use Google Meet for ours because we are a Google school, and that works really well. It's very, very similar to Zoom. I like some things about it a little bit better when you're in an educational setting because Google for Education gives you a few more bells and whistles than just regular Google if you're not in the education format. This lets you do a few things. So we'll run into that as well because we're using a non-education Google Classroom. It's not going to have quite all the bells and whistles that you will have if you get one for your actual classroom. So they talk about a couple of different options here for synchronous and asynchronous. Um, look through the items here. You're probably familiar with several of them. I mean, Skype, things like that. Again, Zoom could be on here very easily. As far as asynchronous things, Flipgrid's a big one. Weebly, and then even things like Loom, Loom, is another product that's out there that does a lot of asynchronous stuff. Very much like I'm doing right now with Screencast-O-Matic. Loom is a little more built right for Google, so it matches up to your Google Drive a little bit better and things like that. I just happen to like Screencast-O-Matic because I've been using it for a while, so that's why I'm using that. But Screencast-O-Matic could be another one that you see for asynchronous, things like that. Screencastify, different ones. So anyway, here's your objectives, and then your assignment down here. Look at some of these research-based strategies. Think about a possible lesson that you might teach at some point. How could you enhance it with technology as far as if you're going to be synchronous or asynchronous? And you can choose. You choose whatever way you want. You can choose to do a synchronous lesson, an asynchronous lesson. Choose whatever technology you want. I want you to be as creative as you can be. But again, the important thing with all these lessons that you do for my class is that I would really like them to be lessons that you could directly put into your class when you get a classroom. So I don't really want you just doing busy work for me. I want you to, be learning things and putting things together that you can actually use in a classroom. So again, pick your fantasy classroom, your fantasy lesson, whatever it might be, and think about some things that you could do. They're going to have you put together as a collaborative resource. You could use a couple of these here, Trello, Padlet, Lino. Put some sources on there, share that out with people. Again, this is where our Google Classroom could be handy for that. You can go into, when you open up Google Classroom, this is the page you get. You go right to the stream. And I've opened it up so that you guys have access to being able to make comments on this front side here. In my own middle school classrooms, I turn that right off because, of course, middle schoolers aren't nearly as mature as you guys are, and things get out of hand real quickly. But if you make your Trello or you make something, you can post your links right into here, and everybody can see them. Please click on a couple other people's and help them get some comments on their own pages that they're making and things like that. So you're going to be putting together a collaborative resource, putting a couple links to some things in there, some things that you think are handy, helpful. Kind of treat it like your own personal Pinterest kind of thing. After you've received input from 2 or 3 other people, write a short reflection. And again, the short reflections are just sort of, how can I use this? What went right? What went wrong? What did I have a hard time with? What did I find very helpful? Just those kinds of things. And I'm not looking for 10 pages or anything like that. Just, half, 3/4, 1 page write up, something like that. Lets me know what you thought. And then you take the survey at the end. That would be very great. That helps. Actually, that survey helps fund 21 Things for Teachers. It is a government website. It's government funded. So, for the most part. And so if you can take that survey, then that kind of helps them get their funding that they need. So that's what we're looking at for this week. For right now, I am going to end up posting the link to this video in Canvas and in Classroom. Now, all of our work is going to be under class work in Classroom. So when you go to Classroom and look under class work, you see it says Module 3. That's the 3rd week. And please upload your Thing 6 documents here. And you click on View Assignment so you can see what the assignment looks like. This is going to look different on your end because you're the student end. But on my teacher end, this is what it looks like. 50-point assignment, so on and so on. So that is, we're going to do more right out of Google Classroom from here on. So this is why it's important for you to get enrolled into my classroom, because in a couple weeks we might not be touching Canvas much at all. Your grades and things will go in there, but we're going to try to get you into a Google setting so that you become very familiar with it, so you can use it and all that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, you're going to be making your own Google Classrooms here pretty soon. So that's what we're doing for this week. Of course, if you have questions, email me. And I'm going to start throwing some things onto the Classroom, asking if you're interested in doing a synchronous lesson one of these weeks or something like that. So you can look forward to seeing that as well. Anytime I post something on here, and especially if it has a due date, it will push it out to your Google Mail, whatever you put in here as whatever you logged in with as your Google email. It'll push those things out to you, so you get those kinds of notices and all that too, probably like you do with Canvas. All right, so that's where we're at, and I will see you guys later.